with your host, Ray Grabowski.
Well, thanks for tuning in and welcome to another episode of Meet Clifton. I'm Ray and... Hey, wait a minute. Something's missing. Oh, yeah, George. Sorry, George. How can I forget my co-host, George?
Right. After 35
I know.
episodes?
All right, let's...
Here's Ray.
Thanks. There we go. Well, I'm glad you remembered.
I tried.
By the way, everybody, here's Ray. That's George's line, so let's not forget it next time, okay? Well, I guess I got caught up in the moment and I forgot how the show starts, but I guess sometimes I could be a little foolish too. Not only George could be the fool, so.
Well, last week I was the fool.
I know. So
After
this week
35 times we had this episode,
okay.
We've been doing it.
We've only done it 35 times. It's
right.
okay. But more reason for me to be the fool for once. Anyhow, it's not always you, buddy. Anyway, welcome to Meet Clifton. My co-host George and I have a few great guests lined up for you tonight. But before they share their knowledge with us, let's check in with our house band to see what fantastic music they have. Let's hear it, Two Tones.
Hip, hip, oh,
Ray's guests for tonight's Meet Clifton are local attorney John Pogorelec Jr., program assistant with Women's in Transition Cindy Giardina, and from the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 7165 in Clifton, Anthony Spada and Greg Colucci. With music, as always, by the Two Tones. All this and much more on Meet Clifton.
Welcome to the 36th episode of Meet Clifton. As the show has grown over the past year and a half, we have had over 100 guests talk about a multitude of topics. However, there are times when we have to revisit topics or bring more information to you, our viewers, because our world changes dramatically all the time. Here to talk to us again about the upcoming tax season is attorney John Pogorelec Jr.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Oh,
again.
thanks for coming out. You know, we've had John on before, and he talked about the tax laws and a lot of things, but there's been a lot of changes since 2018, from 17 to 18, especially now we have a new governor. So maybe you could just explain, you know, what the calendar year 2018, the estate ramifications for the New Jersey residents.
There's a lot of questions and concerns, so let's reconcile all the laws.
Okay.
In 2018, if somebody passes away on the federal level, the exemption is 11.2 million, which is very substantial.
Right.
It's a jump up from last year, which was 5.49 million. So that's on the federal level. And as you can see, most people are exempt from paying any type of federal estate taxes.
Right.
On the state level, there's two levels of taxation: the New Jersey inheritance tax and the New Jersey estate tax. The New Jersey estate tax, effective January 1st this year, is repealed. Last year the exemption was $2 million, and the year before that the exemption was $675,000. So there was a real element of tax fairness being brought in on the estate point of view in the state of New Jersey. The inheritance tax, standard tax that's assessed, and the tax really discriminates on the basis of the family relationship. So for example, on the inheritance tax level, husband, wife, son, daughter, grandchild, grandchildren, no tax at all. Class A exemptions. So no matter how large the estate is or how small, if you're a surviving child, parent, you would not have any kind of inheritance tax on the state level.
They did last year though, right?
Well, yes, they always have, and that was the one law that over the years has not been changed. The inheritance tax, as I indicated, was really a tax that's assessed on the relationship. So to take it a step further, if it's a cousin, for example, 15%.
15%.
If it's a brother, 11%, with the first 22,000 exempt. So there's a lot of different scenarios here with regard to the inheritance tax. It's just, you know, it's not a very friendly tax when your family relationship is more remote. So if you leave something to just a friend, it's a 15% tax.
Right.
And if you leave something to a niece or nephew, it's a 15% tax. If it just goes to your children, it's zero.
Okay.
So there's a big tax disparity there, but the state of New Jersey hasn't made any modifications to the estate inheritance tax.
Okay.
So that's the way you break it down on the federal level. The state level for New Jersey with the repeal of the estate tax, that was a big win for
Right,
most families
absolutely.
because just several years ago the exemption was at $675. So it was a huge jump from $675,000 to $2 million last year, and this year being repealed, it's really built in an element of tax fairness on the
So
state
it actually,
level.
it's more beneficial right now.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say fairer, but it's, you know, if someone passes away, they leave you the money, it's already been taxed, and I think it's, for the state to do this, it was a great thing.
Yeah, and as a matter of policy, we want to encourage people to retire and stay in New Jersey. Obviously, you know, you don't want someone tax shopping and finding out where's the best place to go, God forbid if something should happen to me. So
Right.
we tried to promote that and build that in, and I think it's so far so good with from the estate planning point of view. Gifting, just so everyone knows.
That's what I was going to ask you, because gifting is, a lot of people don't understand the gifting process.
Yeah, the gifting, you know, it's very interesting. You can gift now up to $15,000 per person per year without any reporting requirements. You don't have to put it on any tax returns. You don't have to memorialize it with the bank. It's just basically $15,000 and no questions asked. But with regard to gifting otherwise, you know, if you want to gift your home or property, investments to a child, for example, the federal threshold for gifting now, as I indicated, is $11.2 million. Yes, maybe a gift tax return would have to be filed to show that the declaration of the gift was made. But for the most part, if you're 11.2 million or below of the gifting in your lifetime,
Right.
you won't have to pay any kind of tax.
And just a question, gifting, I know, a lot of people don't understand. Can I gift a friend? Does it have to be a relative? Can I, let's say I have $15,000, I want to gift a close friend of mine, say George, and
Thank you.
can I gift him money, no questions asked?
George will be popular.
I'm popular
Yes,
now.
it is. It's basically a flat 15,000 per person per
Okay.
year
Anyone.
without any reporting
Right.
requirements.
Okay,
Yes.
so, well, that's good to know.
So
'cause a lot
that's
of
very beneficial. So it doesn't really focus on family
Right,
lines.
it doesn't increase the person's income. It'd be nice for 10 people to gift someone 15,000. It's good money.
You know how to
Right.
spell my last name, right?
Yes, I do, George.
Okay.
I have it.
But even if you're a grandparent, for example, and you have 10 grandchildren, you can give each of them
Right.
15,000
Right.
a year, and there'd be no reporting
Right,
requirements.
and tell you the truth, later on, if someone passes away, it makes it a little bit easier because, you know, all the, actually, that's what I wanted to ask you next. You know, wills and things. And the question I know we never covered last time, but I wanted to, is, you know, passing away with a will versus passing away without a will.
That's very, very important. I just had a scenario like that in my
Okay.
office today. When you pass away with the will is the recorded instrument that's filed with the Passaic County Surrogates Court that spells out all the rights of who's going to inherit in the estate, most importantly, who's going to be the executor,
Right.
who's going to qualify and be sworn in before the surrogate if it's Passaic County. Then what you do is you have the estate is administered through the Passaic County Surrogates Court, and that's all controlling in a will. Now, if you pass away without a will, okay, I know that a lot of people think, oh, just all the money goes to the state. It doesn't go to the state. It just, once again, depends on the relationship.
Right.
So, for example, if you pass away and you have a mother surviving, your mother is going to be the sole beneficiary of the estate.
Right.
If you pass away and you just have children surviving, and your wife is predeceased, for example, everything goes to the children equally in distributive shares. So the bottom line is, the one problem though, because then the next question would say, well, what do I need a will for if all my property would go to my children?
Right.
Because the biggest thing is that, and if there's no will, a bond is required.
Right.
A bond is the security for performance of the administrator's duties in making sure that they don't abscond with the assets.
Right.
And that can just add up. The premiums I just had something today where they had a bond and the premium was close to $200 to $500.
Right.
But you have to pay that in order to qualify to receive the inheritance. So that's sort of the indirect way of saying, yes, a person should have the will, so that it's defined who's going to be the executor, it's defined who's going to be the heirs. If you don't want to leave someone something and you wish to exclude them for personal reason, you can put that in the will too. So there's a firm meeting of minds in a last will and testament of what your true intents are, rather than the statute controlling.
Right, like you said, it's written out, it's there.
It's there.
It's the person who passed away, it's their, what they want to be done with their assets or lives.
Yes, it's filed with the surrogate, recorded, and it's a public instrument.
Okay, so anyhow, these are all interesting things that we could talk. I think I'd like to ask John on again another time just to explain a little bit more about that, because I could keep going, power of attorney and wills. And,
I know.
You know, and that's all important. So maybe if you don't mind coming back on another time, we could continue this.
Oh,
and keep on
absolutely,
going.
I'd be honored.
All right, John, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. There will be a special New Jersey carbon monoxide regulations presentation. It'll be on March 14th at 3 p.m. Clifton City Hall. It is free to attend, but you must RSVP. You can RSVP to the Passaic County Division of Economic Development. Their phone number is 973-569-4720. There will be guest speakers from both the City Fire Equipment Company and Associated Fire Protection. There will be a question and answer period. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you can contact Anthony Maroney at the Clifton Health Department, and you can call the Health Department at 973-470-5760. Thank you.
Thanks for sticking with us. Clifton is a diverse town with many kinds of people who are plagued with all kinds of problems, some large and some small. Sometimes people need a place to go where they need help dealing with these issues. Women in Transition is a free confidential program for displaced homemakers who need practical and emotional support to become self-sufficient. Here to tell us more is Program Assistant Cindy Giardina.
Hey. So good to see you. Hello. It's okay. It's okay.
Cindy, thanks for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Cindy's a
it.
program assistant with Women in Transition. So we're talking about displaced homemakers. So please describe this for us.
Well, displaced homemakers are women who are contemplating divorce. They are divorced, widowed. They're managing a spouse that's disabled. They might be in an abusive relationship, or even in a long-term relationship where they lost their main financial support. Primarily, women are the ones that are taking care of their families at home, and they left their job. So now they're trying to sustain a living, and they're really scared and they're real uncomfortable. So this is what we try to help them
So
with.
for me to understand it, technically these would be like stay-at-home moms.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about homemakers, women that were married, have children, and their job, and believe me, I know they tell me it's a job to stay home and take care of the family. So
Yes.
that's why we call them homemakers.
Yes.
So now we're saying is that this isn't part
Now
of their
they're
life anymore.
displaced.
They're displaced. Okay, so now they'll come to you. So what services do you provide for
We
them?
provide quite a few services, such as when they first come in, we have an intake with them.
Okay.
And we want to get to know them, find out what they need.
Right.
And then we provide different classes. Many of the women want to go back to the workforce, and they need computer skills.
Sure.
So we provide computer skills training, we provide vocational and coaching to find out what their strengths are, what their like looking at their past history of work. Many of them don't even have some work history.
Right.
Then we have legal support.
Okay.
Every month we have mindfulness training. We offer all different kinds of workshops, even as far as like personal development, career development, teaching them interviewing skills.
Right.
We have a clothes closet for them because many women might not have the means to buy clothes to go on an interview.
Right. Is this kind of a learning center also? A
Yes.
learning training center?
Yes, because we teach all computer courses. We
Okay.
teach Word, Excel, PowerPoint.
Because whatever else you would need.
Yeah.
In
And
the
then we do a
workforce.
lot of resume writing, interviewing.
Okay.
We help them with all that. We even have a job club on Mondays. Every Monday they are welcome to come in between 10 and 2.
Okay.
And they could work on our computers, do job searches. We help them with their job searches. And then basically we're really helping them with their resumes, looking for jobs, filling out those applications. Applications now are like 20 pages
Right. Oh, no,
online.
It's quite involved.
So we help them with all that.
Do you also help them with emotional support?
Yes,
is
we do.
Is it a counseling center also?
Well, we're not doing counseling. There is a counseling center there. We're
Okay.
in, that's our host agency.
Okay, right.
We're at the Wayne Counseling Center, but we provide services all for Passaic County
Okay.
and the surrounding areas.
So what, the average age,
The average age is, we have women that are there even in their late 20s, early 30s, to some women are up to 70, you know. But most of the ages, the average age is between 40 and 60.
now some of these I know we spoke at the beginning. Could some of these because maybe they lost their spouses?
Yes.
Also? Not just because maybe they had problems in their marriage or they're divorced or something, they're separated, but, you know, if,
Or sometimes, we have a lot of widows too.
widows that do-
Because now they have to, or many times, we've had a lot of women that they've been taking care of their caretaker for their husband, their
Right.
spouse for like 10 years, and then the spouse passes away. That woman gave up her job.
Right.
And like you said, the stay-at-home moms that took care of their children.
And now it's tough getting back because you're out of the workforce
Exactly.
for 20 years, 30, could be more. Now you have to find a way to get up every morning and go to work and be the breadwinner.
And now they don't have the skills anymore because
Right.
our society is so tech savvy.
Yeah.
So now that's what we're teaching them,
Sure,
the
it's
computer
difficult.
skills to get back into the workforce.
Right.
We're like the bridge that connects them back to employment.
Okay, and that's important. And also here it says all your services are free. So
Everything's free.
How does that work? How do you provide these free services?
Well, I have a little cheat sheet because I don't want to quote the wrong things.
no,
But
absolutely.
we're funded by the New Jersey State, I just want to make sure I say it
Sure,
all right.
Of course.
The State of Department of Children and Family Services,
Okay.
that's DCF, and the Division on Women, and in part through the New Jersey State Bar Foundation
Okay.
Fund. And we also receive a lot of funding from
Right,
supporters.
because someone has to pay for
Right, and
the
everything we do
technical
is
support
free.
and the teachers.
Everything we do is free.
George,
Where is the location?
We're in Wayne. We're right on Hamburg Turnpike, 1022 Hamburg Turnpike. But like I said, we service everybody in Passaic County and all the surrounding areas. There's 15 centers for displaced homemakers within the state of New Jersey.
Good.
okay, so then obviously women from other counties could come also?
Yes, from the
Doesn't have to be
surrounding
Passaic
areas.
County?
Nope.
Okay, that's good, and there's, I mean, we're gonna list this at the end of the show, where you can contact it. This is probably a good situation for people to, watching today, if they have someone or no friends.
Right.
Because a lot of times you're in a situation, you don't know where to go.
And women are so scared. They feel like they're helpless at this point. They feel lost. So those are the women that we're reaching out to. So please, give us a call.
Okay, so we want everyone at home to know that there is definitely help. You know, we'll list the name at the bottom of the show.
Thank you.
To call the center, we'll give
Yes.
you your phone number too if they want to call. It's a great
Excellent.
service, like you said, women are scared, so.
They're
If
scared.
this is something that interests you, you know, please contact Cindy at the center. Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you so much, Ray. I appreciate
We'll now
it.
turn to Sharon and Lauren for the events that are going on in Clifton. So what's new, ladies?
Hi, Clifton. Welcome to the updates. The Clifton Recreation Department will be having their dinner and a movie featuring Sing. That's on February 21st at the Clifton Community Recreation Center, 1232 Main Ave. Please call 973-470-5956 for information and tickets. And the Theater League of Clifton is having their Trouble at the Tropa Cabana. Call 973-928-7668 for tickets. It's in February 23rd, 24th, 25th, March 3rd, 4th, 10th, and 11th. So please call for tickets. And it is with sadness I announce the passing of a family friend, Esther Dorr, Dr. Dorr's wife. They've been residents of Clifton for many years. Our condolences to their family and friends, and you're in our thoughts and prayers. So thank you.
Okay, welcome back, and thanks for showing up to all the events that Clifton has to offer. It really makes Clifton a great place to be. Well, our next guests not only serve our community, but have served our country in overseas conflicts. It is through community events, fundraisers, and other programs that they continue to fight, not in any conflicts, but for the benefit that our men and women deserve when returning home from the battlefield. Here to explain more are Anthony Spotto and Greg Colucci of VF Post 7165.
How are you, sir?
Welcome, Anthony. Greg. I just want to get this right. It's VFW Post Albion.
It's Albion Memorial Post 7165,
Albion,
VFW
and-
Post
and so-
7165.
And where are you located?
We're right on Valley Road.
Okay. Now, in the past, we've had other people on from different veteran associations, and we're trying to highlight all the ones that we have to offer in Clifton. Tonight's turn is, of course, the Albion Post. So with us is Anthony is the commander, and the vice commander, right, is Greg.
Senior vice.
First, just, these posting, how did yours get started?
Ours was started, it was really, we had our charter back in 1946.
Right.
And then our building was formed in 1950. Back then, it was more of a meeting place for veterans who came home from the war.
Right.
There was really nowhere for them to go or people to talk to.
Right.
So the VFW gave them that rights. They also helped them with other things on the, coming home and dealing with being home and things
Right.
like that, with the family and everything. But really, that's how it all really got started with us.
Now, some posts are different, but yours is you have to be a veteran of foreign wars,
Correct.
right, to join.
Yes.
Any branch of the service.
Yes.
Correct.
Right, it doesn't matter. And I know it's sort of like sections of town, but they can be from other sections of town. They don't have to be from Albion, do they?
They could be from outside of town.
Outside of town,
As
right?
long as they served in a conflict,
Yeah.
overseas, they're eligible.
Right, so it's more like camaraderie. Guys, they have same interests, they served in a war.
We do a lot of volunteerism too.
Right, right, it's much more than a post. So what else does this post do?
We try to help out other veterans
Okay.
that are in need for one thing or another.
Okay, you have fundraisers too?
We have fundraisers.
Now, I think you were talking a little bit before about service dogs?
I have
Yes.
a Clifton Shelter alumnus, Misty, I adopted her back in September of 2007, and we make it a point, this is for our community service.
Right.
I go to 4 different hospitals with her, start at least twice a month.
Okay,
And I start the morning off at the Paramus Veterans Home, then we come back to Daughters of Miriam,
right,
and after she gets her treat at home, on a break, we go to Preakness Care Center, and then the last stop of the day is at Care One up in Wayne, Black Oak
Okay. Uh,
Ridge Road.
so that's a
So
service.
we do that. That's a therapy dog.
Right.
That's we go see people all together. A service dog is one-on-one.
Okay.
The veteran or disabled person will get a service dog. A therapy dog
Okay.
is
So,
different.
so that's just one thing. Now, the Post, it's an organization, you have
Right.
meetings once a month.
Yes.
So I don't want to know exactly what you discuss, but when you get into these meetings, do you talk about other things like how you're going to help people raise money, type things like this?
Yes, we get involved in different activities with the community.
Right,
In our meetings, we do discuss on how we're going to help each person or each activity. We do a lot with an organization called Operation Rebound, which is one of the organizations really that truly helps veterans, disabled veterans. 100% of the proceeds do go to the veterans, unlike a lot of the other places that
which
we
is
do.
important.
Right, which is extremely
Yeah,
important.
Absolutely.
It is run by, it actually started from a Union police officer named Michael Bowl. He's done a phenomenal job with it. We were down in Wildwood last year, and we did what they call a ruck walk. It was 22 hours straight walking.
Right,
Okay, and that brought people more closer to the idea of PTSD
Sure.
and veteran suicides. We deal with the Promised Veterans.
okay,
Okay, we do once a year. We do a picnic for them.
all right.
We try to visit as much as we possibly can. The communities we deal with, the Boy Scouts,
Clifton Cares.
Clifton Cares. We have
Which is big.
right. We have the ROTC. We deal with them.
Okay,
With St. Philip's now, with the fire that they had, we have now brought a lot of their stuff into our
yeah, unfortunately, it was a
hall.
bad fire.
Right.
I know you guys pitched in a lot
Yeah,
to
we,
help them
we
out.
volunteered our hall to them as
Right.
much as we could possibly do.
So, other than a place for the veterans to meet, just really quickly, I know a lot of people say this, is the enrollment as much as it used to be, or is it kind of dwindling? A lot of guys don't show an interest, or I know you'd like more members.
Everybody would like more members.
Our oldest member is a Second World War vet.
Yes.
Right.
Joe Frost, and
He was actually there when they built the building. He's one of our only
he's one
survivors.
of the
yes.
charter members,
Yeah.
our original members. But over the years now, our Korean vets are getting up there in age.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, myself, I'm a Vietnam vet, and we do have a number of Vietnam vets in the post.
Yeah, I see that.
And then we have one Panama and Grenada vet, Marine, and then naturally with Desert Storm in Iraq, we have them, and then there's a few other areas of conflict.
You're still getting members, right?
Yeah.
We get them not the way it used to be.
Yeah, because everybody comes back there
Right.
involved in a lot of other things.
They get involved with their
They get involved
families, they
with
get
families,
married, they have
like that.
kids.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know,
different world.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's, for us, I would love to get, as a commander, I'd love to get the younger members
Sure.
back involved, just so they can understand what we're all about.
Right.
We're not just a place for, these guys think that they're just gonna come in here and hear war stories.
Yeah.
We're not about that.
No, you're a charitable organization.
But
also.
not even that, it's, I like to say it as the commander, we're a family.
Right.
Family is very big to a lot of the service members.
Sure.
To come home to a family, and this is what you're really coming home to, is to a family.
No, and I
And,
understand. And actually, that's what we're trying to say here is that, you know, here's another opportunity in Clifton for someone to join an organization,
Right.
you know, a veteran, because it's Veterans of Foreign Wars. Last thing I want to ask you, and it's something I go to and a lot of us go to, you have the Sunday breakfast. Once a month, you have the breakfast at the post.
Yeah.
It's always interesting. Nah, we like it's good. Where does that money? That goes back
That
into the
goes to the
organization?
veterans, yes.
Goes into the
All,
vets?
100% goes to the
Yeah.
veterans.
Okay, and I would just like to tell everyone that if you're around on Sunday, it's the first Sunday of the month.
First Sunday of the month, we
8
start
o'clock
at 8
to
a.m.
12 o'clock.
8 to 11.
8 to 11
sorry,
o'clock.
8 to 11.
There's-
It's $7.
Yeah,
Kids
certainly
eat free.
And
Sir,
the menu varies.
Yeah,
Yes.
the menu varies.
Menu varies.
Yeah, from table to table. No, it's good. It's a worthwhile thing. You know, if you have to eat breakfast, you might as well go and donate to a Clifton organization.
Right, exactly.
Why give it to someone else when you could give it to someone in Clifton?
I agree.
So if you're there, I'll be there most Sundays, so will everyone else. I hope to see you there. Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we explain
Thank you very much.
a little more. Thank you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I don't wanna lose you, this good thing that I got. 'Cause if I would surely lose a lot. 'Cause your love is better than any love I know. It's the thunder and lightning. The way you love me is frightening. Think I better not. Oh,
Thanks again for joining us on another episode of Meet Clifton. I'd like to thank all our guests for coming on tonight, my cast and crew for working so hard to make this show so great. From all of us at Meet Clifton, please remember to be good to your friends and family, respect your neighbors, keep Clifton close to your heart. This is a great city. Thank you, God bless, and good night.